good evening, good people. Happy Tuesday, happy freaking Tuesday. It's your boy, brother, all the way from Devon, hello. But right now I'm here in the Rosberg, Johannesburg, in Lajos, Babakanyama, I paid Pilamas, the Yendo. But to know the case of what the Gamma Chigapa, cause of my people desire Pesulu, as in news desire part. Zona Sasinda Kazo. It's NK1 show with your boy host Ubra da New. Yes, the time is 8:15, guys. I'm very sorry for being late. It's just some technical issues, but we are here. So sorry guys for keeping you waiting. It's your number one online show, NK1. I'm super excited, guys, because guess what? I brought two guests all the way from Cape Town and Johannesburg. I got my two beautiful ladies watching me, giving me a big beautiful smile. Yeah, so today is gonna go down, guys. Today is gonna go down. As you guys saw the post, as you guys saw all my posts on the social media, that we are going to discuss, talk, and speak about sisterhood, guys. The importance of the sisterhood. What does it mean? So these two are going to explain to us what that when we talk about sisterhood. So I'm just gonna give them a chance, guys, to tell us their names, introduce themselves, and then so when we are starting with our topic, we know nobody. So I'm gonna start with Chrissy, all the way from Cape Town. Hello, Chrissy.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm super fantastic. So can you please tell us who is Chrissy, where are you from? Yeah, introduce yourself to us.
Okay, good evening everyone. So my name is Chriscy Blouws.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Cape Town, born and raised in Western Cape, Cape Town. Yeah, and Chrissy is someone who is passionate about music. She's passionate about dance. She's passionate about singing. And she is a mom, she is a friend, and yeah, and I'm also very passionate about human rights.
Oh yeah.
That's what I do for work. I'm an attorney and I work within public interest law.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. Guys, that is Chrissy. For you, Chrissy Blouws, all the way from Cape Town. Let us go to Zama Game Show. Do you remember the show? Zama Game Show. Khumalo, Umzilikazi Namashomani. Am I right? Oh yeah. Introduce yourself to us.
Oh, hi everyone. Kamalam is Zamantungwa, Khumalo, Mbeki. I reside in Johannesburg. I also work in public interest.
Oh yeah.
Unlike Chrissy, I'm a nerd. I'm interested in reading. I like geek reading, Harry Potter, all of that nerdy stuff that people consider boring and lame. Yeah, I'm a mom, a wife, a friend, a daughter, a complex and complicated person.
Wonderful. Wow, guys. So as you guys can hear, today's going to be amazing, guys. It's gonna go down. I'm just super excited about this. I'm just looking forward to hear from these two ladies as our panelists today, and we got another panelist of which is behind the cameras. I'm gonna introduce him next time, guys, because he's coming on the show also. So, okay, Chrissy, you guys are always together. You guys got an amazing boy. How did you guys meet?
So Zama and we met maybe 9 years ago.
Yeah.
And we originally met at the workplace. So we were working at the same organization, doing like different things during different years at the time, but we worked at the same organization, met, and essentially 9 years ago was when our sisterhood and our bond was really born.
Yeah.
And so that's how we met. And at the time when we met, it was in Cape Town. Zama was living in Cape Town at the time for work, and that's where we met.
Oh, so you guys have been together for 9 years?
Yeah, overall 9 years.
Yeah.
Yo,
Overall
guys,
9 years.
I really need to know, guys, how do you do this for 9 years? Being friends for 9 years, nothing has changed. Look like instead of the love dying, but it's growing every day, each and every day. Because normally what will happen if you are in relationship for a long time, love dies, things never be the same as you guys first met. So Zama, on the side, being in a good, lovely relationship with Chrissy for 9 years, what does it mean to you? What life? What did it add into your life?
Oh, that's a very complicated question. I think in order to answer the question, I need to reflect and say where I was at the time I met Chrissy. As she said, we met in 2013, 14, sometime there. We were in the same level as training attorneys, as candidate attorneys. I found her at the office. And on my first day, my first week we met. But like every good story, it didn't start off sweet. Obviously there were seniors in the office and they wanted to, Yeah, she was not the nicest person when I first met her.
That's a lie.
It's the truth. No, but it wasn't a complex thing. I mean, I just finished my studies in Pretoria. I moved to Cape Town to start my articles. I knew absolutely no one there. So I also came in with my defenses, had no family, had no friends. I just took the risk and I'm like, I'm gonna go to Cape Town so I can be trained, so that I can become an attorney. A week into my 2-year contract, the other girls, because they from the previous year came back from leave. I guess we were just sussing each other out, as the black girls in the organization. We sussed each other out. She was a bit tough because she was my senior, but in a fair way. But as everything happens in life, the other lady was a senior, moved out of the office. And then I got to move into the office with her. And as we shared an office space, and she got to hear my beautiful playlist, guys, my music selection. Guys, listen to my music, okay? I'll share my playlist. She was like, oh, okay, all right, I see this girl, let's see this girl. And after that, we started by going out for drinks. I'm like, okay, I see her, she sees me, and the rest is history. So your question was about what the friendship means. So from there, as I said, she saw me at a very vulnerable state, moving to a different city, particularly Cape Town. I knew nobody. And what Chrissy was able to do in that context and situation was to bring me in. She will take a stray. Anybody who's a stray, she will take in. And she did. She brought me in, not just in her friendship circle, in her family. I know her mom. Her mom is my mom. I knew her brothers. I knew her dad that has certainly passed away. So she literally brought me in. And after a while, I just didn't have that sense of being lost because I had a family in Cape Town. So everything that happened subsequent to that happened based on that solid foundation. And you can imagine all the nonsense we caught on and all the things that we did. Because we still had a work relationship, but also we have a relationship on the streets and a relationship at home as well. So everything that 22, 23-year-olds can do, we went, first salaries, we went through girls figuring out life,
And
love, everything we went through in that time. So I think it was a good start. It didn't start off in grade 1 and everything, even though we both have friends where we started, but it started off well.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
And here, I can't read this name because Shizola Megwe is saying you can even see the way Chrissy is looking at her. She's looking at her lovely husband. Oh, I so wish I can have a friend like you guys. I love you, much love. Wow, thank you very much, Shizola. That's lovely. I can even see the way Chrissy is looking at Zam, like, oh, my lovely.
It's the stray she took from the streets, guys.
Yeah. Okay, so I think what I want to add to what Zama said is that what's nice about our relationship is that it literally has grown over the 9 years. So as I mean, we're talking about sisterhood. As women, we go through different phases in life.
Yeah.
And what's nice about our relationship is that it has transformed together through every phase. So, and we always laugh in our friendship that the one goes through one phase before the other one. So, our kids are a year apart, meaning like Zama went through the mom phase before I went through the mom phase. But at no point did we make each other feel left out or like I'm in this phase now, you're not. You know, there's no sense of like judgmental space between the two of us. And so what I like about our relationship is that it grows over the years with the phases that we grow in. But also to answer your question about like what makes the relationship good for the two of us, for me it's that we actually treat it like a relationship. Like relationships in love, even they need work. You need to really work on it. Like you said, love dies down, and as the time like goes on, love dies down. But we actively make time to see each other. Like this week I'm in Joburg for work, but we actively schedule time at night to spend quality time together, to do things that we both like and to support each other. And I think the biggest thing about friendship is our honesty. No relationship can function without honesty and trust. And even in times where we are uncomfortable to tell each other the truth, that's what makes the relationship strong, because I know there's always honesty between the two of us.
Wow, interesting. You guys, if you're watching us, guys, please take notes, guys, because I'm also learning. So after this, I'll make sure I'll do some brotherhood. I'll go to my brothers out there, do some relationship, you know, my niggas. But it's a bit, guys, for us. If I have a friend, let me just say, me and Tawanda are best friend. You guys, you can call us and say, hey love, hey, I can't call Tawanda, say hey love. You see, that's why most of the time I think the relationship on friends, it's different when it comes to women and men, because you guys are flexible. You can just call Zama, hey love, hey babes. Us, we can't do that.
I think, can I jump in?
You go.
I think, like I always say to Chriscy, whatever you want. Every relationship has vows. People think that a marriage is the only space that you have vows that you say to each other. But a friendship has vows. Any relationship that you create has vows, things that you agree to. Now you're saying it's a very, maybe a bit superficial, calling each other. I don't call you babes. In fact, I call you very derogatory terms when you answer. Like, hey, what up, baby? You know, like things that hype up in the day.
Baby relationship.
No. It's about, I know what gets her hyped up. Like, what up, my homie? Homie's over. Other things, you know. But you reinforce the relationship. So the point I'm trying to get to about the vows is, and I think maybe it's a stereotype. Guys, men have relationship over drinks. It's very big. You're just talking about soccer, politics. Yeah, it's nice. It's comfortable, right? Music, girls. That's nice. You know, we can talk about boys, the past, wine. You know, that's very true. Yeah. But what women have an inherent ability to do. Mina figure in a funeral that I have absolutely nobody that I know here. I can sit and start a conversation as we are chopping. And we're talking, even with women that I have absolutely no idea. We can talk about kids, men, soapies, gender-based violence. We can talk about stockpiles, investment, work, while we are chopping. Now, I think, I could be wrong, people can come for me. Other people like to look at women's friendship as being toxic. Oh no, don't have friends, don't have friendships. No, because as women we are ingrained. As I see now, even how from a very young age we are taught to look out for our friends, look out for our dolls, mashlala, siyo mama bekhaya, mashlala mazindlu, zonke lezo zinto, but it creates a nurturing thing, which I think as time goes, other people will find complex. relationships in their own are very complex. Because inama ups and downs, inama lefts and rights, inama I'm working, you're not working. There was a time when Chriscy, I was in Cape Town, she moved to a completely another province. And that was after a year of us being together. She was just Nandi, everything, Brian every weekend. And then she's like the next year, oh dude, like, I don't have a job in Cape Town. I would have a job in the Northern Cape. Northern Cape, as they call it in Northern Cape. Who goes there, you know? And Nakola, I could have just said, listen, I'm in Cape Town, find another friend, not invest. But she used to take the bus to come back to Cape Town. Yeah. Not necessarily to see me, even though I'd like to say that. Staggered. But when she comes back, and I'd make a conscious effort to say, as in guys, but I can get a project that side. And you go and you are seeing your friend. When there are conferences and workshops, each friend, can you make sure we get into the same conference in Joburg so that we see each other, you know? So it's not, that's why I'm saying any relationship, whether it's with a child, your man, your friend, your mom, as long as you put a conscious effort into saying these vows of taking care of each other, these vows of loving, respect, honesty, faithfulness, but she's also got friends. I've also got other friends, other besties, but my relationship with Chrissy is here, my relationship with other friends is here. And the nice thing is
we can take each other into those spaces.
We can take it because Mangfida to Chris, I come as me. So if Chrissy comes and I meet her other friends and they're like, you, Chris is this quiet girl, man. Which Chrissy is this that they're talking about? You know? She is who she is with other people, so it's easy for me to get into that space. We went to her church. When my grandmother passed away, I was there. I think I checked and Wonkumuntu tells the same story about who Chrissy is. So I don't feel uncomfortable, Uti, and I'm narrating the same thing. If I tell a story about what we did, never, I've done it. You know, lies.
Yeah.
So I think if you come in and you're like, okay, listen, we're authentic.
Yeah,
we are seeing each other at our worst, and we have,
Wow, guys. I'm just loving your story, guys. I'm emotional.
Shams.
I feel like crying, guys. I'm saying, Erickson Makosini is saying, is it possible to put the mics closer? I love your sets today. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. Okay, guys. Let me speak for these ladies now. Most in our society, I've had lots of women or ladies saying they don't want to have friends with the other ladies because they gossip, they do all this stuff. So they rather have friends with men because men are just good, and so they are skeptical with having like close relationship with other ladies because of that. So on that, Chrissy, what can you say?
So I think that question ties into your previous statement you made about like how we can have this relationship as women but men really can't. Because I think a lot of things that play into friendships are also stereotypes. Like it's stereotypes in the way we were raised and the way we're taught that women must act a certain way and men must act a certain way. Like there's nothing wrong with you calling Usandile babes or love. Like where is that taught that is wrong? But like as kids when we grow up we're taught, oh, the toilet sign with the man's pants, that's for boys. The toilet sign with the girl's skirt, that's for girls. So a lot of things are things that we are taught as children, culturally, traditionally, and those things, some of them do become like patriarchal and they're stereotypes, right, that define us. And with our relationship, we've specifically like break down those norms. Like Zama said, every relationship has its code, it's a contract, it's what you decide. This is the agreement between the two of us. We're going to be faithful, we're going to be loyal, we're going to be honest, we're going to be true, right? And so what we do is stick to that contract. And so to answer your question, for example, about also then women saying like, I don't want, like that's the thing about trust being the foundation. So I can trust to bring Zama in my home, even when I'm not there. Zama will call at the gate. I'll say, I'm not home. She'll go into the house. She's free within my house. My space is her space. Her space is my space because I trust Zama. And I'm not going to look at Zama as a woman who might steal my man in the house, because those are also things that we're conditioned to think about. Like those are things society has taught us. Women like to gossip. Women like to steal other women's men. Women like to do this. And like we said, we met in the workplace. So it was a conscious decision for me and Zama to decide, but we're actually going to work together to support each other. Because also as women, sometimes we break each other down. And in the workplace, for example, women, Zama would actually support me. If I had a case that was due and I was running late, Zama was there running to the printer. We're running with files. She's not sitting back laughing like, oh, okay, you're going to fail. I'm going to watch you fail. No, she's actually there saying, what can I do to help? Okay, I'm carrying the file. I'm running with you. And so as the relationship's grown, that's how we are in terms of supporting each other. Like I want to make an example. In Zama and my friendship, for example, there have been times where there's been like maybe job applications that we both have seen like, oh, I would actually like to work there, should I apply? If Zama comes to me and says, but Chom, I'm applying for this job, I've actually said, no, it's okay, Chom. You apply, I'm going to step back because we evaluate where we are. I've got a job currently, maybe you are unhappy where you are, you want to apply for something else, it's fine, I won't apply. Why? Because her success is my success. Wow. That's our relationship together. When she wins, I win. When she loses, I lose. Right? So that is the vow of our relationship. Like we always joke and laugh like we're in community of everything. And it's a joke between the two of us. But all it means is like when you succeed in life and you are the best that you can be, you represent me because that I'm then the best that I can be. So that's to answer your question about like women saying, I can't have a woman around, like I trust men. Why would you ever trust a man over another
Sorry,
woman?
can I also just jump in?
Yeah.
I think there's also what we call bona fide in good faith.
Yeah.
Like Chrissy's talking about when things are going good. When I talk about things that when things go bad. Now another person can say, if something goes bad, I will. The thing that's going to lead is that in good faith, I know she not intentionally do 1, 2, 3. Now, what usually comes in for most people is that maybe you've got a seed planted or whatever, but you bank the good. And that's what I'm saying. It's not the discussion is not about a hypothetical situation where people have been good friends, we've never disagreed, there's no time when I wanted to drop her call because she's giving me too much truth, or I'm just like, I am not in the mood for this child right now, right? You know? But everything happens in good faith, you know? It's that thing, you know, the benefit of the doubt you give to umtanagin with but umtagama would never, you know, and then you give them the opportunity to reconcile. And Lord comes with what Chris is saying. Most of us we don't. Okay, let me not talk about cancel culture. If she's hurt me, I say, Chomi, 1, 2, 3, where were you going with this? Because Ngizizwa when it comes to this situation. Not but 2 weeks ago, friend Dan was not talking to me. No, that's the truth. I was caught up in my own work stuff and she needed me and I dropped the ball. I'm like, I'm like, yo guys, you know, but in the background I ordered this thing for her that I knew was pink and she loved it, and I'm like, I know, man, but it was not enough. Because she called me, and I think she sent me a text and I blue ticked her. And I'm drowning, guys, I was drowning in work, you know. And she called me, and in this text, I didn't say, because when she called me, now I'm going through it, with a lot of stuff going on at home. So it's like, I hear what you're going through, but I don't understand that you don't have 5 minutes for me in your day.
Mm.
I'm like, no, my friend. And she's like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that you dropped the ball.
Wow.
Now, it was painful to me.
Yeah.
And other people are paying a friendship.
Yes.
What
Yes.
I dropped the ball, I'm like, okay, let me. And I dropped the call. We dropped the call, and I went back to my space. I'm like, okay, let me not talk to her. Let me go back and evaluate.
Yeah.
And then my message to her was, you know what, friend, I let you down. There's no excuses. 24 hours in a day. I mean, I always feel 24 hours in a day. I'm not good at WhatsApp. I am not. Don't text me, because call me. Don't text me. Are they gonna sit there unopened? I've said this to people. Guys, could just call me. Mom, work, daughter. The best time to catch me is when I'm driving. So if you're gonna be like, hi, I'm like, ooh, I can.
Yeah.
Can I call you in 15? Yeah, call me at this time. I'm free at this time. Let's talk. Let's hash it out. I know what I can give you.
Yeah.
WhatsApp, whatever it is, I can call you. Zama, can you call me back and text? Sure, I'll call. Lazy Zotrata.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to let you down in that platform. So I felt very bad about it. And I'm like, yo, I'm sitting like tossing and turning at night. I'm like, I let her down. Okay, then I said in the morning, you know what? I admit, friend, I dropped the ball.
Yeah.
I'll do better, you know. And that's what I'm talking about, the benefit of the doubt. Uti, let's bank on the good that has happened and realize, Uti, there is an opportunity when somebody, and I think most of the time when somebody's done you wrong, before you cancel them and cut them out, let them know how they've hurt you. And then measure them from that response. Not Uti or Veluti, my enemies are after me, send 20 million, and then cut in jail. And you never knows what they did to you. You never gave them the opportunity to repair, you know. And again, say that in empilweni that you make decisions that are wrong, you act and you say wrong things. Depending on what was going on at the time. But if somebody comes to you like, you know what, I've effed that. That's as far as I could go as the individual who has effed up, is to say I'm sorry. And acknowledge and say please forgive. They raise risks on you. But I feel like sometimes you take it 3 steps back where you just cancel and say it's danzos with this person. There's no benefit of the doubt. So I'm not necessarily saying it's a male or female thing, it's just of overall on relationships and friendship and whether male or female. But female friendship is good. It's very emotional, it's sisterly, it's motherly. I say she's the lead in the relationship because, man, when Chris is around, I'm not driving. Yeah, well, she's the driver in the relationship. I do the logistics. She does the itinerary.
But you know what you're saying now. But what I wanted to say earlier about what you're saying now is also understanding love languages. Because those, like, oftentimes in relationship, or we make this example with like kids all the time. You can have a kid crying, right? And then as a parent, you're giving them a toy. Now the kid is not stopping crying, but you're thinking, I'm giving you the toy, I'm giving you something fun to play with, like what? But maybe they just want a hug because their tummy hurts, or maybe they're hungry, so maybe all they wanted was a slice of bread. So if you don't understand someone's love language, it's difficult for you to communicate with that person. Because, for example, like Zama says, well, one, benefit of the doubt, because she disappointed me. But in that moment, I also had to think, but like how I know Zama, I know she's not doing it to hurt me. I know maybe something's going on with her. I also need to understand that, right? So I give her the benefit of the doubt, but also love language, because in the moment she might be ordering me a gift, and the gift maybe is on its way, but that's not what I need in that moment. What I needed in that moment was not the gift. I appreciate the gift. I love the gift. It's so thoughtful. It's my colors or whatever. But love language, in that moment, I needed her to answer a phone call. And that's oftentimes what breaks down relationships. Because we're thinking I must send 10,000 roses on Valentine's Day. Actually, all I wanted was to be with you on Valentine's Day. And a kiss. Nothing, you know. So understanding, back to what Zama said earlier, relationships are like a contract. understanding what we expect from each other, and we meet each other by what we agree on.
Wow, guys, wonderful, guys. Please, guys, do share the live. If you are watching with us, guys, don't show up by yourself. Bring people with you. Share the live for your friends, and your friends will share for their friends, so that, guys, everyone can take notes and learn from these two wonderful, amazing ladies. So, Chrissy, let me start with you. So, having said, hearing your story with Uzama, what does sisterhood mean to you? I'm asking this question because I saw someone saying, us ladies, we can talk, we can text, we can call, we can go to vacations together, take pictures,
Yes.
play good and happy. But at the end of the day, what Zama said, trust in your, I don't know whether it's Zama or Chrissy saying, trust in your friend, that you won't even think that she can take my man. So I was touched on that comment. So what does sisterhood mean to you?
We always fight about men, guys.
Yeah. Can we
Like,
fight about
honestly,
money?
can we fight about money?
Let's fight about money.
Men's
Let's
always
fight
about
about clothes. Let's fight about shoes. Let's fight about
And we wear the
clothes.
same size.
We wear the same size shoe. We've never fought about shoes. We've never fought about men.
Nah, bruh. People, can I just come in on that point? Because it always just touches me that women can only come together to
Let's
fight
about
over men. One, yes, we've been on the streets and we both can agree that that man is attractive, you know? But this stranger that we're both meeting for the first time, who's this man? Let's say man X. Who is he to us? And I think that's what we always say. Who is he to us? Yabo? Because as much as this new stranger in our lives, some have stayed, some have gone. But what has remained is like us. It's like the same relationship you have with your child. Some, they'll come, they'll go. But if you say that this is the relationship that matters in that context, and you give each other, but the benefit, that's what I'm saying, the benefit of the doubt. If there's a relationship and there's a guy, and we see that somehow we are torn apart by this guy, man, it's not us that's the problem. It's this stranger, because that's the only new person in this dynamic, who is the problem. Because if you have an understanding of who we are, one of the terms and one of the terms of engagement is that this right here is this parcel. Then the parcel is also with us and our kids. I come to the house when I go to Cape Town and I'm like working, leave my daughter with Chrissy's child, and the only person is there is Chrissy's man. I'm like, no, and my daughter Ban, that's the that is Ush. And the relationship is Ushe, when we call, responds to me. She has, if the relationship is not genuine, our children would not be able to respond to each other, right? But it can't be for me that the comparison or the basis by which we measure relationships is by that weird species that is men. Because they can come and go. And ziningi nje izinto that come with that. But before we met him, and then there was us.
So you guys are older than your man?
Yes.
Both of you?
Then our relationships, yeah, even if we weren't, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Even if we met yesterday.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I think also to go back to what you asked about like what sisterhood means for me. So like the thing is in life, guys, we have also different family dynamics and family legs up, and we come from different like family backgrounds. Some of us are like from divorced parents, some parents are still together, some of us have siblings, some of us have step siblings, all of those things. We come from different like cultural, racial backgrounds, right? And what I always say to Zama is that, like, even though when we met, she was a year behind me in terms of work, and she might say like, oh, she was the senior CA. What I appreciate from our relationship is that I always learn from her, even when it's uncomfortable. Like, we were two young women in the early 20s in Cape Town. Also some spaces that are very racist. And we were different races, right? We were both black, but in South Africa we're then colored and black. And especially in a context like Cape Town, right? Those things are very popular. And it's about us having honest conversations to say, like, listen, like, we need to understand that you're in Cape Town, you're the black girl and I'm the colored girl. Because we can't be colorblind. Because if I'm going to be colorblind, then I'm going to miss experiences that she will have that are different to mine. And those things are empowering. Often we think like, oh, I mustn't say she's black and she's colored because, like, no, sometimes it's important to understand your privilege and what comes with that privilege. Because in a space like, for example, Cape Town, where most spaces are still very racist, if me and Zama must go into a place together and something happens there, most likely people are probably more going to believe me than her. Why? Because I'm the colored, right? She's the black girl. So there's all of those things that come into play. And that's why we say, guys, sometimes things are uncomfortable because for a lot of people, these things are uncomfortable to talk about. Similarly with you and I. If you and me can go to Pick and Pay now, if something happens there at Pick and Pay and we come back, most likely people are going to believe me more than they're going to believe you. Because you're the suspect, you're the typical black guy. I'm the colored girl, my skin is lighter, so you have to believe me. That's what the society is that we still live in. And if we are not conscious about that, then I can put my best friend in danger. If I don't walk into a space acknowledging the differences that other people see, and I am conscious of how I act when I'm around her and with her, then I fail her because I don't protect her as well. And that's something that Zama pointed out to me in the first week of us meeting. She was like, do you understand? Okay, this is the context. I said, yeah, okay, this is the context. I never had that conversation with anyone else before because generally as a human race, we always tiptoe around things. It's uncomfortable, so we don't talk about it. But what we actually do is we fail each other because that is like the foundation of our friendship. It's like, even when things are uncomfortable, I'm going to learn from this experience, you're going to learn from it, and we're going to grow together.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow, wonderful, guys, wonderful. You know, there's something that you said that touched me. That if Zama is looking for a job, the same job that you are looking for, you will let Zama take the job because if Zama succeeds, Zama's success is your success.
Her salary is my salary.
I want to benefit somehow anyway.
I don't know about you.
No, but give context. She said that we assess where you are in life. You know, because we
and this is a real scenario.
Spaces.
This happened.
We work in the same sector.
Yeah.
So we are a year apart. So if a job says you need 5 years experience, we're both past 5 years. But listen, I'm okay at work. Sure, go for it. You go for it. You need the job. You're unhappy in your workplace. Go for it. Or there have been times where we've both applied. It's not bad. If one is called, listen, homie, this is what my sources have said.
Yeah.
This is what I've done up, go up and go. It's not that deep.
Yeah,
It's
really
does not have to be deep because listen, who's gonna be paying for my drinks if I go somewhere? And I know her salary because we apply for that job. I'm like, trust me, I'm not paying for anything after this because I know you got the job. Yeah. And that's why I'm saying it's the benefit of the doubt. Yes, there are awkward, challenging spaces. It's not always nice. It's nice if she was in finance and me, I'm in HR. We're in different spaces, but we understand we're in the same space. Yeah. But we must not always also look at it in the negative. There's been many a times I'm like, listen, Chrissy, here's the space on, here's the topic on something I know absolutely nothing about. This is the paragraph that I have. Can you just look it over for me? You know, that's the positive of it as well. Not that it's just about competition in that sense. With like, listen, I know you're at this conference discussing 1, 2, 3, and we even have debates about ethical or methodologies or about sensitive things, like we're talking about judgment, not even in the legal space, but why do you adopt this position on whatever? We don't have the same, we're not the same people at all.
Yeah, because oftentimes people think like, oh, they're the same person, they're best friends because they like the same food. They're like, we actually like everything the opposite. Like we have different styles, we have different ways, we have different sense in fashion, like everything. I mean, we look very different. We are very different, but that's also what makes us, is like accepting of each other's differences, and yeah.
No, man. Yo guys, I'm having a good time here guys. I'm really having a good time with my two panelists. I can even see Tawane behind the camera is smiling wide.
The audience.
Yes, we do have the audience guys. So you can know we do have the audience. So tell me guys, do you guys gossip?
About what?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
About anything?
No man, I don't like this term gossip. Listen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know people. Everybody talks about something. Now that could be about and you know what it is about it's that thing that she's saying about stereotypes. Is it women
Only gossip.
only gossip.
Cook. Only a good
We've
for the
written
bedroom.
we've written an article together. So our time is not only spent talking about others, but do we speak about other people in relation to our lives? Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Do I speak about my mom? Like, oh my gosh, this just happened with my mom?
Yes.
Oh, this just happened with my man?
Yes.
Because she's my person to go to. And like earlier, you were saying like, you know, it's not even in the context of other women say that you shouldn't have friends. Like our parents say it as well. Our men say it. You shouldn't have that best friend. You shouldn't talk out of the house.
Exactly.
You shouldn't talk everything out of the... So I've always said to Zama, I don't believe that thing. Let me tell you why. As women in South Africa, we are violated and abused every day.
Constantly.
And the reason why that is so is because we are taught to keep quiet. We are taught, don't talk out of the house. You don't talk out of the relationship. Kanti, my friend is being abused. But what happens? Nobody can help her. Because why? She doesn't talk out of the relationship. Our families tell us, you don't talk out of the relationship. So therefore, I believe that as women, we should actually speak up. And that's why Zama is saying, it's not about gossip. It's about sharing our experiences. Because only if we share our experience do we learn from each other. So gossip? No, we don't gossip. Talk a lot about our experiences? Yes. Do we talk about our men? Yes. Why? Because she's the sounding board. She can be honest and tell me, and she does. Friend, you're overreacting now, hey? Let's take a step back, think about this.
You're being triggered.
You're being triggered. Why are you being triggered? Okay. It's the soundboard of a confidant that I know is going to give me honest feedback, but is not going to judge me, but it's also going to have my back. So to answer your question, gossip, no. But to talk about our life and to share our experiences, yes. Because like I said earlier, as one, and this is for all women in the world, we all go through the same experiences.
Yeah.
Whether you're white, black, colored, any religion, we go through the same experience. We go through the same types of relationships with men. In marriages, we have the same struggles. As mothers, we have the same struggles. As women who don't have kids, we as women, we go through the same things. So, like Zama said, let's not label it and make it a stereotype of like we like to gossip about each other. No, let's open up things and actually discuss them as women and build supporting spaces for women where we feel comfortable to share our life experiences so that we learn from each other.
And people, I think sometimes one of the difficulties is receiving negative feedback. A lot of us are not. I'm not saying it's easy for me. I'm not saying I'm always receptive of it all the time. Well, Chris would say most of the time I ain't. When I get something negative, I don't like it. I've got issues with confrontation. I don't like confronting situations. I like to live like being in denial and all of those things. So when somebody's like, but friend, we've had this similar conversation 3 months ago. How we did? Yeah, like, and she's like, I'm gonna flag this. 3 months, I know you, we're gonna come back to this. And then when we do, I'm like, yeah, but no, she's like, yeah, but I flagged it because I know you, Guti, this is how you process things. And sometimes, I think sometimes it's not easy to receive things that are not nice about ourselves. But as people, we've got positive and we've also got we've got positive traits and we've got negative traits on ourselves and how we see ourselves, but also how we give off to other people. So that's why I'm saying in a relationship, I can give, but it's not easy for me to receive. Yeah, when somebody tells me, but this is you, I'm like, oof, they're wanting at Tinder, and it's a off us, you know. But by now she must know, if I deliver to Uzam, that's why I'm saying the love language. She says, how do I, when I have to tell Uzama that she's messing up, how do I tell Uzama? If I'm going to give her in a 17-minute voice note, is she going to be receptive of it? No, she's not. But can I bookmark this because I know she's coming in a month to Cape Town? We go while our kids are playing in the play there. They're like, oh, remember that conversation? I'm like, yeah, what about it? She's like, these are just my thoughts. What do you think? You know? Yeah. And then it's just about, I think most of us have a challenge about understanding and receiving how we make other people feel about us where we act. So it's easy for other people to say, but it's a responsibility that I think we have when we are accountable about how our behavior makes other people feel. But other people, I think they feel, I'm justified, me right. But we also, I think there's an extension, how do we make other people feel? And like she said, like we were talking about when we had the fallout recently, I've got my justification, but no, unveiling and but no. So I've got my justification. So she should have understood. But I know, listen, Usuku has got 24 hours. Me going to the bathroom to pee, and we do that a lot. Bathroom conversation. Just a disclosure, we do. And she says, I'm like, where are you? She's like, I'm in the bathroom. I'm like, sure, that's the time you have for me in your day. And I'm like, she says, are you gonna watch me? I'm like, just put the phone down, do what you have to do, I can hear you.
But that's relationships, like that, it goes back to relationships. That's the relationship because we both have demanding lives, we both have young kids, people in our lives, But am I going to prioritize her for at least 5 minutes in that day that I have? And that's same with like romantic relationships. Oftentimes, like our men or our women say, we don't have time in this day. But can you honestly say you didn't have 5 minutes to have a call with someone? Like if you sat down for 5 minutes, you went to the toilet for 5 minutes, tea break, you had a tea break for 5 minutes, you know? So a relationship, if it's effort. Like your first question was, or one of the first questions was like, how do we keep the sisterhood alive for 9 years? It is effort. It takes like blood, sweat, tears, and money because we have to plan. We have to now, as mothers, plan for our kids, plan for the men. We have to plan for work. It takes effort, but it's the contract once again that we've decided we are going to put this effort in to make it work.
Wow, perfect. So, Anna, don't you think a conversation on the toilet isn't that gossiping?
No, it's not. No, guys.
Why would you go?
What is gossiping?
Talk on the toilet.
No, it's not about the space. That's what I'm saying. It's about when I'm driving in the highway, and even my daughter, when I'm in the car, will say, that I'm talking to. If I'm in the highway, if I'm in the bus, that's what I'm saying. That spin is toxic in itself, what you're doing. To spend effort to make a relationship work in the negative. When women come together to provide counsel, to provide relationships, support, always want to see it in the negative. It's always no.
They are taking things
from
their own experience.
I was discussing with somebody recently about funerals and how other people have made black people believe that about how we used to have funerals as if it's always negative. That 7-day period, sifige Monday, bafige abantu balungisele that morning period. Manje it's efficient, yes, for the COVID and all of those things. But many people feel more traumatized manje because we understood, oh, Wednesday, abantu uhlabile somuntu at the weekend before. Monday, sekahlangwana. Tuesday, yaphuma usuku for the funeral. Wednesday, we start gathering. Thursday, as the women, we come together. So we are planning for the funeral. We start the chopping, bafika benkonzo, siyaduduzeka in that period. Friday, sekahlangana yokuthi Saturday siyangcwaba, Sunday sizogeza. Now, other people make the externals make you feel ashamed about that process. Oh, it's a kufike leyo lo wasestradini uzodla. Yes, uzoyidla inkomo. Mangayidli yena uzodliwa ubani, you know? But I'm not just Chrissy's. Abantu hlala bestradini, I belong to them as well. Abantu abasemsebenzini, I belong to them as well. We give abasemsebenzini itiye the VIP treatment as if lo makhelwane bengiphila naye is not VIP. Lo sestradini bengangibambisa igrosa mangiphuma eTexini. Le tavern lo mama on itavern bengangiboleka imali to keep my family going. So when we go to those funerals, it's like, this person's just my mom. Oh, let's keep it, you know. It's not us. It's not who we are. And the more I feel like we try to put ourselves into a box, the more traumatized we are as a people. And I'm tied to this context. I didn't know some of the people in Chrissy's life when they passed away. I got to the funeral because I understand what funerals are. Funerals, we are sajenzwa, we come together, kunokudla, kunekishi. I know what happens in the kitchen because nobody needs to gave me a lesson. I got to the funeral, I'm like, okay, where the woman in the kitchen at? I got to the kitchen, they were so shocked. Why are you serving? I'm like, what else am I here to do? Because there is, when the family that is grieving, that's what we do. There's a grieving and there's a sense of community in that. Now, some figures find it talks, the printing horse, the kicking bobs, it can't always work like that. And we must not let people tell us what is good, and it might be an expensive exercise, yes, but singwabe in a particular way, we have relationships in a particular way, we counsel and encourage each other in another. That's why I'm saying this notion that externals outside of sisterhood, if I put it that way, like when two women are together, we're not just always talking about men. We hardly talk about men.
But also like sisterhood, like, so added to what Zama is saying, sisterhood looks different in all contexts.
Yes.
And over spanning of years, like Zama just like depicted like culturally and like spiritually and based on religion, how we show up for people, using the funeral as an example. But you know, you keep coming back, and maybe viewers and listeners will keep coming back to this thing about gossip. For years before like today, there were like things called, for example, whisper networks. How do women, for example, in churches, we all say, that pastor, we know him. Why? Because the women are there in the whisper network. Zama, don't go alone. Watch out. At schools, you know this guy. Zama, we in grade 10. Zama, don't go around the corner with this guy alone. Watch out. So society has called it gossip and made it this negative thing, like women only get together to talk about other women and to talk about men. But for years and ages, women have survived in different settings. And what sisterhood has looked like for women has been different in settings. And things that are called gossip are oftentimes, like Zama also said, ways that women are supporting each other, are creating a sense of community, are creating a sense of healing because, you know, you went through this experience, I also went through this experience. How did you heal it? It's not always false, it's not always negative. And in today's day and age, like, a lot of these things are happening even on social media, where people are talking about a lot of things or whatever. And it's called fake news, and it's called gossiping. And why? Because historically we were taught women gossip. But essentially, women have actually always been supporting each other and looking out for each other, just in different ways, in different contexts.
And every relationship is a positive and a negative. Yes, we're not saying people can't spread things that are negative and lies. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what we're talking about. Men do that too, tell lies. Out here, I'm driving a rented car as if it's your own. Lies. It's your employer's car.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about those. I feel like it's even exacerbated by men because they feel like they've got social clout that they need to portray. You're downing that car is F's car, but you're out here with your Cayenne. But I mean, what can we say? No, it's not this. I'm just saying, Guti.
The same thing.
It's about
that you ask about women and portray
it's just
women.
societal things.
It's the same thing.
There's a positive and negative.
Someone said, "Yo, I wish I had a friend like you guys." So, do you think, guys, do you look for such relationship or they just come?
They are made. They are worked. You invest in it.
Wow, thanks. That work seems so passionate.
I said earlier, it takes blood, sweat, and tears. Like you work on this, like the same way you work on your relationship with your parents, with your man, with your siblings, with your child. Like every day we get upset with our children. Like, yo, this 2-year-old. Like, why are they doing this? But you work, you learn as a parent, you understand. Same way in the friendship. It takes, I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning, like Zama said, not even just this last week, like a month or two ago, also we were in different moods. We called each other, we were snappy at each other. The call ended in a minute. But once again, benefit of the doubt. You leave the call and you already think, okay, maybe that person's going through something. That person's thinking, okay, maybe she's going through something. We leave each other for 24 hours, we come back tomorrow. Are you okay? You don't start the conversation. Yesterday you were rude to me. Yesterday you ended the call. No, you come back. How are things? Is everything okay? Are you okay? Because, and we always say this, one thing about our relationship, I always say, in romantic relationships with like men and women, oftentimes we fight. Now you don't care about me. You don't care if I've eaten. You don't care if I've gotten home safe. And maybe left your house angry. You don't even check why. Because I'm upset with her. We're fighting. I always say this thing to Zama. If I honestly love and care about you, just because we're fighting and I can be angry at you, it doesn't mean that I don't care that tonight she's getting home safely, or that she's eaten, or that her child is okay. So, in making the friendship work, it doesn't come from anywhere, and not everybody will have these friendships because, like Zama said, not everybody likes to be told the truth. Not everybody likes to feel uncomfortable. Not everybody likes to take a step back and think, okay, how are my actions affecting the next person? But that's what we've decided to do for us.
Wow. Let me just quickly jump to this one.
I'm so scared of the comments.
Let me just get my water.
Thank you, Brother Blouws, for bringing out this. I am revived on sisterhood, changing our minds, especially as black girls. I think I'm touching on next one. And I need to say again, women are naturally gossipers. It's the package they born with. Yo!
No, you know what? I'm not even going to I'm not even going to dispute. I think my only issue is the word gossipers. But I want him, the person, to say what else women come with. Both of us are pro women, even in our lives, in how we raise our kids, in how we interact. We are pro women. Women's struggles with accessing sexual health institutions, sexual reproductive rights. That is our common bond, and you'll never, on the worst day, hear us down women. Nisho ngatiwani, we will never. And sure, call it gossiping if that's what you want to call it, if it makes you sleep better at night. But if Chrissy has to tell me if there's another person, woman, man, who has brought her down and she feels comfortable to tell me about her experience relating to that person, and if you call that gossip, makes. But I know, lies and falsehoods. If you, Brother Lem, are challenged at this workshop and Sandile made you uncomfortable, and you go speak to another man, a person who just happens to be a male, about that experience, it's venting.
Yeah.
I just went to blow off steam.
Yeah.
But when we do it, it's gossiping. No, guys, no. But I know we're not going to win that fight. And it's not a fight that I think we must entertain.
It's almost different because when you're talking about it at a braai, or the beer, did you see this guy at work? He did this. What's that? Is that not also gossip?
Yeah, we told you to say he's CEO. I mean, I was overlooked. You think women are not overlooked? But I guess because we can text about it and call at the end of the day, it's gossiping.
You know, the way Tawanda is looking at you guys.
I'm scared. You must be scared.
Guys, I don't know whether it's a network or what, but I can see here on Facebook some of the comments. I see comments and then they're disappearing. I don't know, but let me take this one. Eric is
Eric again.
Eric.
2 questions.
We're in your home time, homie. We're in your home time. Okay, 2 questions. Why do women belittle one in most cases? Number 2, how can we empower the younger women to succeed beside having a job only? Wow, love this one.
Women belittle other women because, linked to the question about gossip earlier.
Listen properly, Erika.
Eric, this is for you. Linked to your question about gossip earlier, when I said these things are attached to women as stereotypes, what that means is that as women in society, we are taught to act a certain way. Let me make an example. When Zama came to work at the same place I work, I could have looked at her as a threat. She's the new person here. What if she impresses the director? What is going to happen to my job? Oh, no. Let me now critique her. When we're in meetings, I'm going to put her down. When we're in meetings and she says something, I'm going to break her down. Why am I belittling her?
Sure.
Because also, men have taught us, and society has taught us that if you want to succeed, you must be cruel. You must, it's cruel to be kind. You must put someone down. Corporate ladder. You must. No, actually, you don't have to be cruel to be kind. You can be kind to be kind. Me and Zama are both at a good place in our lives today. Not because the one belittled the other one, like I said to you, but because the one pulled the other one up with her. So when I'm there second year and she's a first year, I don't need to belittle her because I feel threatened as a woman.
Yeah.
Actually, I pull her up with me. As a second year, here are some of the tips.
Sorry about the printing.
Here are some of the tips that can help you out. And then now, Zama as the first year, on the day I must file my case, the printer is not working. And 3 o'clock the court closes, my papers must be filed. She can laugh at me, she can sit there and laugh and say, I'm going to watch this one fail. Because if this one fails, I'm going to get up. No, she came, she opened the printer with me, we're putting in paper, we're helping. Why? That's why I say to you, as women, we have to actively break down things that society and history has taught us. Because the problem, especially in a workplace, is that as women, we start to act like men. And what men act like is this hard. We must be hard. You must be this person. We don't show feelings. No. Who said that men can't show feelings? Actually, to us, one of the most attractive things is when a man shows feelings. When a man is vulnerable, that's attractive. Because then I'm not scared of you. Then I can relate to you. I can relate to your emotions and your feelings. So that's one of the first things that I want to break down in terms of this historical notion of women being taught to be seen as belittling each other. And trust me, it happens. It does happen, especially in workplaces or in society, like in social places, like, oh, you want this man, I'm going to show you I can get this man. It's like the stereotypical things that are put on women, but we're taught that, and we decide actively to break free from that and to uplift each other in that. And to the second question that I think Erika needed 2 questions about how we encourage this for young girls within the school or whatever. You see, that's for me also, it's like this is something I'm very passionate about as well, is young girls in the community. Because once again, our communities, especially communities of color, and especially like communities of color that are working class, guys, so many of our young girls fall pregnant at a young age, they're forced to leave school, they're forced to work at home, and then fall out of that, outside of that schooling system. And that is a topic that I think you should have on its own some other time about young girls within our community. But once again, it's like twofold for me. It's once, as family, what we allow within our communities. Once again, this thing about gossip. In our communities of color, we all know the neighbor's child who was pregnant, maybe by a 30-year-old man, but she's only 16. That's statutory rape. That's rape.
Never.
But we never report it. Why? But there's this thing called gossip about women. That's why I go back to my starting point. Sometimes it's important to talk, guys, because that 14-year-old who is pregnant by a 30-year-old is rape. But as a community, we keep quiet. We don't talk about it.
It's gossip.
It's gossip. It's not gossip. That is saving someone. It's facts and it's illegal. So that's for me where the starting point starts within our family and our communities, but it's also a bigger social problem. Because we also understand sometimes that in our communities of color, there's poverty, guys. And sometimes that 30-year-old man brings bread into the house.
Yeah.
So what do I do as the mother of that 14-year-old girl who also needs the bread for my house? So these are all like bigger system, and that's why I say that's maybe a show and a topic you have on its own one day, because there's a lot that goes into that.
I'm just gonna just touch on that second question. As I said earlier on, outside of Chrissy, I've also got other friends, and these friends I met. One of them I met the second day of grade 1.
Yeah.
We are still friends today. One I met in grade 6. We are still friends today. Now, that's what my age minus 6 years, whatever that is. So it's over 25 years of friendship. Now that's outside, but these friends come and you know them very well. We've been able, they plan a baby shower together and. How you teach, there's nothing bigger than setting an example. Even how you teach your children, you don't teach children and the society by talking. You teach them by saying, I know my mom. I know my mom's besties without fear, favor, prejudice. I know them. Oh, mama, but society. When they came and society came to Stockfella, came to Ekaya, and the other ladies left, I'm like, these are my mom's besties, the 3 that remained. Yeah. And those ones, you serve them, and you know, one was my godmother, we went to church with her, but I saw the relationship. Now we talk about young girls as if they're people or children are persons who cannot see. Children from a young age replicate behavior that they see around. Positive relationships they replicate. My daughter's friend is this. She sees how to relate to her friend because she know ubanafonai umama ubanafonai umama mama. She even said the other day why are we not going to see Chrissy umama Oshe? I'm like, girl, nobody's booking the flight right now. But she understands what I'm talking, because even the example she gave me, Ati, need to boost about her friend at school, and that's no. Yeah, but my money is my friend. Yeah, well, so she understands French. I never said the word, but she understands my relationship with her is mother and daughter. I'm not her friend. Her friend is at school. I'm supposed to mean ubani umngani ka mama akho. Ashukuthi umama ushe andubongi umama lundu. She told me who my friends are. I never told her. I never uttered the words. Yeah, I never uttered the words to her about who my friends are. They have got a relationship with her. They say the gifts. They sometimes call to say, I'm calling to talk to you, Zam. I'm here to see my child. They're speaking to my daughter. Right? So that's a separate relationship. That's why I'm saying, even when I'm in Cape Town, like I'm here in business, she's like, but can you bring the child, please? We're not here to see you, seeming you're not here to see us. But bring the child, you leave her with us for the weekend. And she's there, she'll take care of the child. Same, my other friend, Ish, I'm not at home, can you pick her up for me? You know? You cannot, there's no bigger example than the example that you set with your actions. Over and above the words. So to change, exemplify, it's not that thing. You don't look at the whole elephant. You start biting it bit by bit, and what you first do is in your interpersonal space in your home. As they say, the home is the first church. It's where you set examples. Your mom's relationship with females. those who say they don't have the females are gossipers, look at their relationships with how their parents related. I mean, my mom related positively with females.
Yeah.
Very positively with females, and therefore I relate positively with females and female relationships.
Sorry, Zama, but also everything that you're saying, a lot of this conversations has been centered around women as gossip and women's roles. Like Zama is saying now about that example that you used, me and her, and Ujama seeing it as an example. But have we ever emphasized the importance of men and their relationship with women? Because the men, girls look up to their dads.
Their first love.
That's their first love. The dad gives the first dance at the wedding, at the 21st, the dad gives the key or whatever celebration there is, or whatever, the dad is the lead and all of that. Dads also set that example. So what are the dads teaching the young girls within the community? Are they how are dads treating women? How are dads treating the mother? Because that is also.
And how are they relating to your? If the dad has an issue with my relationship with you, for instance. No. It's because you fear that what you are saying as the male, she'll be able to have a different audience outside to counter what you say. You must not be insecure in what you say. Always have room for discourse. And I think sometimes people are very uncomfortable about discourse. Discourse by mean conversations. Tell me what you have to say. I hear you. Let me come back to you. Or I disagree with you. Disagreeing with you is not a challenge to you. I come from a bed, because here's the other thing with what you're saying. We meet these men, we are 30 years old, for instance. We've got 30 years of information and values and everything that is imparted on us by society now for 30 years. We meet you, for instance, at the age of 30. How do you say at 30, if everything that you've learned for 30 years and come and follow me? You start from these polar ends and you slowly work towards a common ground. Whether that common ground is based on values, and that's the same thing with friendship. That's what Chrissy was saying. Different backgrounds to the max in terms of how we were raised. I'm from KZN in Newcastle, Cape Town flats, nani. Parents are black, siblings. Yonke into I find. So if we were to decide to move from based on our differences, we wouldn't be here. But we say, let's unpack, and from the few things that we have that are similar, and that's any relationship, and then as I go back to friendship vows and any vows, let's work on what we have in common. What we have in common. Men, women, anything, any relationship we carry. It's based on, and then where we differ, to differ must not make us uncomfortable.
Exactly.
That's where we have our issues with. Once and we've got fundamental, academic, theoretical, feminist
differences,
major differences. We were able to write a paper together based on those differences. We don't have to agree. But in what she says, I must once say, listen, okay, Chrissy, this is what you've said to me. To say to her, I've heard you. Not to say I'm just listening to her, I respond. Because you're saying this is your view, 1, 2, 3. Do you agree? Yes. I disagree on it on 1, 2. I agree on it on 1, 2. Okay, let's write or agree. Let's work on the 1, 2 that we agree on, and also acknowledge the differences that we have. As she was saying, when we were in the Western Cape and we used to go to places where young people gather, I got into a lot of trouble there because I was a black person. She's taking me where she's comfortable, but acknowledging that and making her aware, hey, Baba, these people are not seeing me the same way they see you. They're gonna pick fights with me, and they did. But my friend came through. Hey, the CCTV footage must come out. Oh, she came through for me in that place. I had no knowledge. I didn't also understand for her community how they perceived black people. And you'll never see us use nuances. African. No, we are colored. I'm black. Your son is this. My daughter is this. Same way I leave her, like my friend, but you must moisturize her hair. You can't just comb her hair. You have moisture. You know, all of those things. Is that now you can't say it, no. But anyway, in summary, all of these things rest on the same values that if you're uncomfortable and you are able to work in one, sit in your discomfort, sit in it. Don't just be in a rush to get past it. And then once you are in the discomfort, here in my studio. Why? 1, 2, 3. Don't be sensitive about what I've said. Oh my goodness, Chris is so sensitive. I used to tell her that she's the sensitive person in our relationship. Yo, she's so sensitive. But now I can't also, knowing that, come and just deliver things like I don't know that she's sensitive. I draft the message. You know when you draft the message and you delete? And she's like, why are you calling me? Oh, nothing, just checking. I knew what I wanted to say, but now I don't have I don't have the words. I'm conscious of her love language. I know she likes the color pink. I know how to get her in her studio, get her happy. I know how to romance her, if I can put it that way, in a friendship way. To like, I've messed up. How do I atone for my conduct, you know? But also, there's also other issues, like we let each other, right? You don't necessarily always have to pay it back. If you can pay it back, you don't. If I got you this month, I got you. If I don't got you, and you have to pay me back this month, you're like, you have to pay me back.
And you don't have to feel uncomfortable to ask.
Never.
No, because, this is a good example. Money is often the thing that brings people apart. I borrow you money now. I said I'm going to pay it back tomorrow at 5. I don't pay it back tomorrow at 5.
I keep quiet.
Now I keep quiet, but you also keep quiet because, Chrissy, no, trauma. Like what Zama saying, it's because it's our relationship, you write it off. Whether I give her whatever amount, I write it off. But if this month I really don't have bread at home, I'm going to say, Tron, remember that I borrowed you 2 weeks ago. Can I please have it back? I don't have bread in the house. You benefit of the doubt. She's not going to think I'm coming for her for the money or what. She's going to understand you're okay. If Chris is asking me for this money back, shame, then maybe she really needs it in that moment. Benefit of the doubt.
So guys, today you can see we are breaking the negative mindset, because the one thing that makes the sisterhood leg is from hearing you two girls talking about this, I'm discovering the problem is not maybe girls hating on each other. It's just the mindset we have that makes the whole hate. Even us men, we do have those, but the eyes
very competitive.
The eyes is on it's on ladies. Well, I saw Leon Malachi's comments, but it disappeared. I'm really sorry. I saw Eric's comment again. It disappeared, but okay. Zamantungwa, the way you guys write his name, Zamantungwa is saying, guys, I'm gonna take the last comments now. I can see people are commenting. Okay, I'm gonna take the last comments because of time. Zamantungwa is saying, thank you, Brother Ned, for bringing these two wonderful women. As a feminist, I believe we should bring them more often, because there is a very great hate among us women, of which we don't know what is the reason. So I believe if you bring these two ladies more often, we can be empowered and sisterhood love can come back. Thank you very much, Zama. Mando sumaka komsengela ngoba mina kahle. If you talk about the back Zama when it's fully now, but I need to. So guys, thank you very much, Zama. Thank you very much. I promise you guys I'm gonna bring them back. I even already knows the topic I'm gonna give them. Because as they are talking
money.
Don't worry. So, perfect. Last question and then we close. What message concerning everything we've talked about today, discuss about? I'm just going to give you 1 minute. What message do you have for these women who are listening concerning sisterhood? What message do you have for them?
You're looking at me, you're looking at me. I would say that based on everything that we've spoken about tonight, Zama is my sister in the sense that she's the family that I choose.
Yeah.
I have family who I was born into this world and they're my family in
Yeah.
blood. But then I have the family who is family because I choose them to be my family. And she is my sister that I choose in my life because she is the person who I know that if I turn around, she's behind me. She's got my back. I know that wherever I can go, if Zama is in the room where I am not there and anybody is attacking me, she'll have my back. Maybe she'll come to me afterwards and say, you were wrong, my guy. Because once again, our relationship is based on honesty.
Yeah.
So in terms of sisterhood, she's the sister that I choose, she's the best friend that I choose, she's the family that I choose. She is literally like her mom is my mom is her mom.
Yeah.
She shows up for me, and that's what makes her sisterhood so important to me, is that she shows up when I need, and when she shows up as her true, honest self. She's loyal, she's faithful, and that's what I love about her.
Wow, wonderful. Zama, what do you have to say?
Mine is Uti. Don't be quick to cut people out. Always give people the benefit of the doubt. Situations in life is very complex. Don't be quick to just say because you are touched by a person's behavior. If you are going to, at least let the person know why you are, so that then you measure them by their response to what you said. Life is complicated. There are only 24 hours in a day. People are drawn to different relationships, and they've got a lot of things that they need to do in a day. Most of the things that people do, they are unaware of their behavior. If you leave it and all you've said that I've done is at least I've told them how their conduct affects other people, and then cut it there, then it's fine. But over and above that, give people a chance, give yourself a chance, and understand who the people are and meet them at the level that they are. Love languages matter in understanding, and also don't always fall for the stereotypes. Don't always have other people tell you how you relate, particularly as women, and also as a community, as a people. The things that we have are a benefit, and a lot of people want us to see them in the negative, but they are a positive. And the more we sit with other people, people feel that lezo zinto zi-negative, but it's things that have actually kept us as a community, as a sisterhood, as a black community going forward. So let's just reflect on all of those things. And just because things are convenient and easy and fit into your day doesn't mean that they're necessarily the right thing. Convenience is just that, convenience.
Wow. Wow, guys. Wow, wonderful. Yo, I'm super excited, guys. As promised, Uguti, today's show is going to go down. It's going to be amazing, guys. You saw it for yourself. Erickson Makosini, Angazi, which comments that you sent, because I'm seeing you saying we are ignoring you. But if it's the comment where you ask two questions, the two ladies covered that. I don't know whether maybe you asked another question, because I can see you say we are ignoring you. We are not ignoring you, my brother. Some messages are just appearing and disappearing. So we are very, very sorry, guys. And also, we are very, very sorry to take long, guys. You'll see, guys. These two ladies were on fire. Guys, can you please also give me some noise? Make some noise for me, baby. I brought you on two dynamics that things outside the box, guys. They are so amazing.
So
you guys are so amazing.
You are amazing.
Thank you guys for coming here. It's a privilege.
We're not invoice you now.
Oh my God. At least I got my boss right there. Well, guys, thank you very much. It's your #1 online show, NK1, your boy, brother. No, yes, it's me, all the way from Durban. Hello, but we are here in Rosberg. our setup today, my panelists, physically, right here. No online connection and what. They were right here next to me. So, guys, I really enjoyed the show today. Please, if you haven't shared, guys, please do share the live, guys. Let your friends see this, guys. Women out there, please, united, guys. Be united. Love each other. Stop the hate, guys. Motivate each other, guys. There's something that is ringing in my mind that was said by Chriscy. Zama's success is her success. So if we can have girls or women who have that mindset, guys, we can go far because there is greatness that is within women.
And unity.
And unity. You know, man is not complete without women. So, guys, women, please, guys, we emphasize sisterhood. Love each other, support each other, be there for each other. So, yeah, NK1 show. Thank you very much, guys. Meet you next week. Bye, man. Thank you. Yo, guys, what a show, guys. What a show, what a show, what a show, what a show, what a show.
Thank you, audience.
Yeah. Yo.